Hey everyone, it's Colleen again with yarnwars.com, and today we're going over a granny square. This one is one that you will see all around the internet. It's a very basic granny square, but today we are going to go through a less gappy, still have the holes in it, but it's not as holy as this one. And you'll find this pattern all over. Hopefully that, this one we use a bit of a different step to it. It's very similar to this one here, but we eliminate a couple of things. So, as we all know, granny squares come in all different sizes, from little itty bitty granny squares all the way up to a big granny square, such as a granny square blanket. So we're going to go ahead and get started with this. These are just two different examples of what we've used here. For this one, I used an H hook, and this was just a red heart Super Saver Aqua color. And this one, I used an F hook, and this is the Premier Angel. And it is Blue Jean Baby. I love this color. It has kind of a gradient, fades in and out, lighter blue and a darker blue, but it's very pretty. So you could see that you can make pretty much any size with this. If you're working it with the red heart, and this is the one I'll use today. If you're using the red heart Super Saver, this one is accent and it's guava. If you're using the same weight as this, after about 5 rows, you should be at 4 inches. The written pattern is going to be over on the Yarn Wars website, and I am going to apologize right now for my blue nail polish. I need to get nail polish remover. It was a test. I was trying it. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to start with our slip knot. So we're going to go ahead and I just cross over like this, and I put my yarn up the back. And you can either pull it through with your hook or with your fingers right there. And I'm going to go ahead and stick with the H hook for this. So we'll be making one similar to the size of the aqua. You can do a magic circle, or you could do what I'm about to do here. I'm going to chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I'm going to join with the first chain with a slip stitch. Okay, so I'll have this loop here, or like I said, you could use the magic circle for this. We're going to chain 3. 1, 2, and 3. I'm going to start by making 3 half double crochets into our circle. So we're going to go in, yarn over and pull through, yarn over and pull through all 3 loops on the hook for our first half double crochet. Make this another half double crochet, and then another half double crochet. All of these within that circle. Then we are going to chain 1, work 3 more half double crochets, and then we're going to chain 1, 3 more half double crochets, so now we have 1 set, 2 set, 3 set, 3. We're going to chain 1, and now we're going to make 2 half double crochets. 1, 2, and then we're going to join to the second chain. There's 1, there's 2, and there's our third one up here. We're going to join to our second chain up there. with a slip stitch. Okay, so that puts us right at one of our corners. So we've got a corner here, we've got a corner here, a corner here, and a corner here. 4 corners for our square. So we're going to start in our first corner by chaining 3. We're going to work 2 half double crochets in that corner. And then a chain 1. And then 3 half double crochets. And then we're just going to reach over here. We're not going to chain. We're going to yarn over and work 3 half double crochets into our next corner. A chain 1 and 3 more half double crochets. So we've got our next corner made, and then we're going to reach right over here to this next corner with 3 more half double crochets. And you don't have to be real tight with this either, so a chain 1 and 3 more half double crochets. And reach over into this next corner with 3 half double crochets, a chain 1, and 3 more half double crochets. So now we reach the end here, and we are going to go ahead and we're going to join to the 3rd chain up right here. Count 1. You can see 1, 2, and 3. Join to that 3rd chain up. Joining to the chain is not the easiest thing in the world, but if you keep it pretty light and not so tight, you shouldn't have a big problem. Let me join with a slip stitch. Now you're going to have this little thing right here. What you're going to do is you're going to skip this next one and you're going to slip stitch into the next. So we're going to slip stitch into this one right here because we want to get back over into our next corner to start. And then we'll just slip stitch right into that corner. Okay? So this is where we're at. We are now working row 3. And you have a perfect square right now. We're going to start by chaining 3 and work 2 half double crochets into this corner. And this is how you're going to start each new row. You'll chain up 3 because you'll be starting in your corner, and then you'll work 2 half double crochets, a chain 1, and then 3 half double crochets. And the reason why we only work 2 half double crochets on the first set is because we're using that chain 3 as our first half double crochet for this starting. So then we come over here, we've got this space right here, and we're just going to reach over and work 3 half double crochets right into that space there. Reach over here and work 3 half double crochets into our next corner. A chain 1, and then 3 more half double crochets. This will be the same for each round for your corners. And then we're reaching to the next space. For 3 more half double crochets. And forgive me, I do not have I should put a bowl or something down here for my yarn. So as you see, the difference in what we're doing, a lot of these patterns will have, I'll explain it in just a second. Let's finish this row. So we're going to work our corner, 3 half double, chain 1, and then 3 more half double crochets. Reaching to our next space right here, 3 more half double crochets. I think you probably have the hang of what we're doing here. And then we're working our next corner, so we're going to reach over to that corner with 3 half, a chain 1, and then 3 half. And then we've got one more space right here we need to reach over to and work our last 3 half double crochets for this row or round. And then we're going to come over here and we're going to join to our 3rd chain. So just very simply 1, 2, and 3. Join into that 3rd chain with a slip stitch, and then like we did in our previous row, we're going to skip this next stitch that's right next to the one we slipped into, and we are going to come into this next one with a slip stitch, and this kind of evens out our square, just makes it look better all around. And then we're just hopping right into our next corner with a slip stitch, because we will be starting again in each new corner. So we have our next round completed for a total of 1, 2, 3 rounds. And as you can see, and we're basically doing the same thing. I'll do one more row with you. This one we did 6 rounds. And so you're gonna do it to whatever size you need. And in the end, this center pole here that we started with either your magic circle or your chain up, you're going to be able to close that up and make that, you're going to be able to close it up with your needle. But the difference with what we're doing here with this granny square is this granny square, we work our set of half doubles or double crochets, and then we're chaining 1, working into the next one, and then chain 1, work into the next one, chain 1. So you end up with these bigger squares or holes, the gaps in between. So if we eliminate that chain up or that chain 1 between each new space, then we stop with the big gaps. We don't have as big a gaps. So we'll just go through a couple more rounds here. We're going to chain 3 because we are in our corner. If you switch colors, this is a good place to switch your color out. We're going to work 2 half double crochets because this is our starting corner, remember, and then a chain 1 and then 3 half doubles. Okay, we're going to just come straight over here with 3 half double crochets. And now we have 1, 2 spaces before our next corner. And you'll have 1 more space on each side in your next round too. So we're going to reach over to this next space and work 3 more half double crochets. Oops. And then we're going to come over here and work our corner, our chain 1, and then 3 more half doubles. Coming into our next space, straight over with 3 half double crochets. And straight over into our next space with 3 half doubles. And then right over to our corner. We're getting through this pretty fast. I apologize if at any point you're confused here on what we're doing, because I'm really doing this more for the beginners. You Now, if you've been crocheting for a while, if you're a professional crocheter, then you know all of this, and you probably have your own granny square down pat that you use as a rule. But like I said, this is for the beginner, just to kind of help you work a little bit on some basics. So basically, we are just eliminating that chain in between each new space. We're just working straight over into each new space and corner. I'll finish this corner and then we'll wrap it up, because you're going to grow this to whatever size you want to. You could work it and work it and work it all day long and make a baby blanket. You can make so many different things with it. We're almost done with this one round here. So we're going to finish it up. And I'm going to just have an itty bitty small granny square for this tutorial. And then we're going to join again to that third chain up with a slip stitch. And then one more over. So if you're going to finish it off, here's how I will finish this off, just to show you. Once we've slip stitched, we're going to skip that next one and we're going to work a slip stitch into this one. And then I'm going to come over into my corner and work a slip stitch. And then I'm going to chain one. I'm going to cut my tail. And I'm going to finish off. So this is my granny square. And just quickly to show you, for hiding tails, this is a bigger blunt needle than I would use for hiding tails normally, but this is the one I have right now. I will come in, let's see, this is the right side of my project. And this is where I ended up. So I'm going to come into one top, and I'm going to come up. Or you could just go straight down into that top, but I'm going to come up and I'm going to come down into this one, just under that stitch, to kind of round it off a little bit so it matches the rest of my granny square. And then I'm going to come to the back. I'm just going to hide this in all over the place where I'm able to make it so that it doesn't come out. Okay, so you're going to continue doing that as long as you need to, as far as you need to, until you're comfortable that it's set in place. And then for my center one, we had talked about how you can close up that hole. Or if you don't want to close it up, you want to leave it the way, you know, so that it's a little more matching with everything else, uniform. But I'm going to go ahead and close mine up, and I'm just going to work around this inner circle here. This little part right here, I'm going to work it around, and I'm going to pull it. And if you come right back, right before your tail, you can actually lock your tail, lock this in place a little better so that it's not going to go anywhere. And I'm not pulling as tight as I can. I can get rid of that hole pretty much all together if I wanted to. But I'm going to stop right here, get it off here. And there is my granny square. So as you see, we've got a couple of different sizes here. I've got a large, I've got a medium, I've got a small. I can make it even smaller than this, as you saw. So this is how you do a basic granny square. I hope this was helpful. You can make so many things with different granny squares. There's so many different projects and patterns out there for granny square slippers, granny square, anything. So learn the granny square, have fun with it, and check out some of my other videos. I've got different patterns, free patterns. I like to do a walkthrough for each of my patterns. And one thing I do also have, if you're looking for a way to connect your granny squares seamlessly and without seeing the yarn that you are, without seeing your attaching, your joining yarn. I have an invisible granny square join, and I will have that right at the end of the video, as well as an iCard you can see up in the, it should be in the top right corner, that will take you there. It's a great way to join your granny squares. It's tight, it stays, and you won't find one that's as invisible as this one. But have a wonderful day. Come visit us over at our group at facebook.com/groups/yarnwars, or come over to the site at yarnwars.com and pick up free patterns. Always free patterns coming out. We've got contests at the group, so much more. Thanks for joining me. Have a great day.